Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely amazing day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a surprise birthday card. And if you like this pop-up element, this video is for you. And I can tell you it is super easy to create. For my project today, I decided to use a Regency Romance beautiful collection from Relatively Thoughtful. If you like it, I left the link in the description down below. It has lots of beautiful design papers, backgrounds, and also elements to fussy cut and sentiments as well. When I saw this collection, I thought it would be perfect for any birthday card. And here you can also see some folk style flowers as well, which I absolutely love. There are plenty of frames that you can use for lots of different projects, and I really like them. I think they are super cool and versatile because then you can put whatever you want inside the frame. As you can see, the images here are simply gorgeous to play with, and some of them already put in the frames for you. There are also some beautiful tags that you can use and absolutely gorgeous landscapes. As I said, there are also some sentiments and elements to Fussy Cut, which are absolutely fabulous. Now, let's create our surprise pop-up card. I'm going to use Kraft card for it. However, if you want, you can use any card from your stash. So first, to create the base, I'm going to need 6 by 12 inches white card, and I'm going to score it in half, which is 6 inches. Then, I'm going to need two other elements. So that will go inside, and it will be 5.5 of an inch by 2.75 of an inch. I'm going to score it in half, which is 2.75 of an inch. I'm going to need two pieces of those. Then I will need four smaller pieces that will create the mechanism. So that will be 2 inches by 1.5 of an inch. I'm going to score it in half, which is 3/4 of an inch. Then let's create two marks. One will be at 3/4 of an inch and the other one at 1.25. And then we're going to create the score lines, which I created here with the red pen. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of all the measurements and they will be ready for you to create the surprise pop-up card. So let's create our card base first. So this is 6 by 12 inches. I already scored it in half. So let's decorate the card inside. As I said, I'm going to use a Kraft cut as well. So the Kraft cut measures 5.75 by 5.75. Then the white one is 5.5 by 5.5 of an inch. And then the blue one will be 5.25 of an inch. I couldn't decide which way to put the blue elements, but then later on it really worked out really well. And I have to say that I absolutely love how that blue design paper works with white and craft card. I really like it. So this card is for my mom. And when I was at home recently, we went to a very special place and we saw the East art exhibition. It was so beautiful. And I was actually inspired by some of the artwork there. That's why I decided to use that white and blue here because it makes me think about that China that we saw. So that is the reason I used that design paper for my mom. So I'm pretty sure in your stash you have absolutely some fabulous papers to work with and they might remind you of very special places. So let's create those two elements here. And I'm going to use a craft card. So here is my scoring board. It is 2.75 by 5.5 of an inch. Let's score it in half, which is 2.75. Fold it and burnish it. If you want, you can use different card But my trick here would be to use a red liner tape with Kraft. I use liquid glue and I had to wait quite a lot. So this one is 1.5 by 2 inches. Let's score it first all the way down at 3/4 of an inch. If you want, you can take a screenshot now. Now it will be time to do those two score lines. So the first one will be at 3/4 and then a mark will be at 1 1/4. When this is ready, I'm going to place it on the black line on my scoring board and create those diagonal lines. Super quick and simple, right? So, a trick here will be to get that black line on your scoring board. So this way it is so much easier to create any score lines. So now with that element here, I'm going to create a very small mark here, and that is the way to go because then you can really easily see how to score it. And then you can rotate it, and that mechanism is ready. I need to create 3 more of those because in the end we need 4 pieces. And as I said, with the craft cut, I do encourage you to use a red liner tape. However, in my video, I'm going to use my liquid glue. So you have to make sure that all the elements are completely dry before you move on to the next step. So this is the trick with any pop-up elements and cuts. Make sure the glue is set before you move on to the next step. So, when this element is ready, as you can see off camera, I created 3 other ones. I'm going to put them to the side and let's decorate our pop-up elements. First, I'm going to fold and burnish that score line, and then we are going to decorate it. And I have to say that in the collection from Relatively Thoughtful, the designs are simply gorgeous, and I really had a hard time to choose the one I wanted to use for my project. Here I decided to use those beautiful florals. They are simply gorgeous. Do you like using florals for your birthday cards? If you do, what is your favorite design or brand? Please let me know in the comments down below. In the description down below, I left the links to this collection on Relatively Thoughtful website. I also left some other links so you can check them out. Here I couldn't decide which way to actually put my elements. So now let's add that mechanism. As you can see, we have like a triangle inside. So I'm going to put my liquid glue here and squeeze it at the very bottom of my element. Make sure if you have any excess of the glue, now is the time to get rid of it. I'm going to put the glue on the other element exactly the same way. I'm going to leave a tiny gap between those two, and I'm going to line it up with that craft cut at the very bottom. So now when this is ready, I'm going to put the glue on those small triangles and I'm going to close my card. It will make sense. So instead of using liquid glue with craft cut, you can use red liner tape and that will be even better. However, if you use any other card for your mechanism, you can use liquid glue and that will be perfectly fine. So, what do you think about those roses and the blue design paper together? I think it is pretty unique, but I really like how it looks in the end. So, our bottom panel is ready. Now we're going to put our mechanism at the top one. So, this time I'm going to turn it and I'm going to put the glue again inside of the triangle. If you want, you can also pause the video. In the description down below, I'm also going to leave the link to the video I was inspired by. However, I changed all the measurements to make it easier for myself. So again, we need 2 panels here, and when they are ready, we're going to attach them inside. And if you have any excess of the glue, trust me, you have to get rid of it before you put it inside of the card. So, as you can see, our bottom one really pops up. I really like it. You have to make sure that the end of the triangle on the left is actually inside of the fold line. So this way, your mechanism is going to work really well. And I really like how this card turned out in the end. And the collection from Relatively Thoughtful gives me those vintage vibes. So whenever I do have those, I think about Kraft card, and I think the Kraft card really complements the whole collection. Now it is time to decorate the front of the card. So I've got a Kraft card panel, white card, and then the beautiful design pattern. I really like it, so I thought it would be just perfect, and it will match the beautiful roses inside of our pop-up mechanism. I'm going to use fancy filigree cutting die from Craft's Companion, and I'm going to die cut it using Craft card. So I'm going to put it at the front. With that element, I'm also going to use white card, so all the elements are going to match beautifully together. And then with the leftover design paper I used to decorate my card, I'm going to create a square that will go inside of the white element. So in the end, all the elements are going to match, and I really, really like it. But however, when I look at this card now, I think the design paper at the background is a little bit too busy. So if I was to make this card again, I would probably use some dark brown distress oxiding and add that color to all the edges of my die cut. So this way I would have more contrast in all the elements, and I think that would be a really good idea. So as you can see, I'm using my liquid glue to apply the color on those intricate elements, and it will be time to assemble it here. When this is ready, I'm going to use some beautiful alphabet cutting dies from Simply Made Crafts, and I'm going to use gold mirror card because I absolutely love it. The font here is simply gorgeous and it's very big. That's why I need to overlap some of the letters just to make sure they're going to fit on the front of the card. And I'm not sure if I told you, but this card is for my mom. And I thought that the blue color that I use inside will work so well, and it will be a little bit surprise as well, especially with the roses at the front. So now we can assemble the front of the card. And again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. If you do want, you can add some dimension to that element as well, and it will be just perfect. So, what do you think about the new collection from Relatively Thoughtful? Do you like it? If you do, you can check the links in the description down below. So now I thought, let's add something more extra to the card. So I fussy cut some of the elements, and I'm also going to put on your birthday in Polish. I created that element using Canva, which I absolutely love, and then I fussy cut it. Super quick and simple. And to be honest, I do have quite a lot of those sentiments now on hand, so when I need to create very quick cuts, they will be ready. How often do you create birthday cards? Is that the one that you create the most? If you do, please let me know in the comments down below. As you can see, I was very busy fussy cutting all those beautiful florals. I think they're just simply gorgeous. I couldn't resist and I fussy cut quite a lot of them to decorate my project. I'm going to put few at the front of the card and also a few inside of the card. And I'm not really sure if you've seen my Easter projects this year, but this Friday I'm going to start my 10 days of Easter projects. So if you'd like to learn how to create really cool Easter cards, please join me. So if you're new to my channel, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe because then you'll be notified about all the new videos coming your way. And I already have a plan for Thursday as well for a very quick shaped card. So stay tuned because you definitely don't want to miss it. So I really think those florals inside add a little bit beautiful touch to it. And I think they're just simply gorgeous and they work really, really well with that beautiful blue design paper. So when these elements are ready, the cut will be completed. If you want, you can also add a sentiment or a heart, like in this case, I'm going to fussy cut it and put it inside. And I really like this color matches the rose at the front of the card. I think it is simply gorgeous. So the card is complete. What do you think about it? Do you like it? If you do, please let me know in the comments down below. What's really good about this card? It stands proudly on a flat surface, and you do have plenty of space to write your message on the back. And I really like it. So that's why 6 by 6 inches cut bases are just perfect. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And here you can see other projects I created with relatively thoughtful design papers. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. Bye!